YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Y'all, I want to talk to y'all today about doing business or being in business as a young person. And I'm now looking at it because back then I really didn't consider myself young. Like I thought 24, which I'm 25, by the way. I turned 25 this past Saturday. But I thought 24, 25 was old, right? And I had a lot of people in my ear telling me, hey, you young, man, that's young. You keep saying that's old. I'm like, it is old. I'm halfway away from 30. And in reality, it don't matter. Because, like, it's not about the age. It's about how you take care of yourself. You can be a 50-year-old man or woman and still in good shape, you know, still feeling like you're young, right? So I had to quit thinking like that. You know, I had to get out that frame of mind of thinking I was old. I still kind of, I don't know, it's tough. It's tough. You know, I'm 25 now, 5 years away from 30. Obviously, I take care of myself. I'm in a perfect condition. You know, I stay in shape, all that. I don't do drugs or drink alcohol, none of that. So, but yeah, I'm going to talk to y'all about this because this happened to me multiple times. Me and my partner, multiple times, right? I can go down the list because I want to see if anybody else relate to this as well. So, it happened doing business, investing. It happened with rental services and buying property. It happened on different occasions. And I'm just like, what's up with older people that's in business or business owners that's old trying to get over on the young people, thinking we goofy, like we don't live in a internet-based society now. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go to the first time this happened. So a few months ago, I was inquiring on buying a piece of property because I was going to place a car wash on there, an automatic car wash. And I was partnering with this guy. I ain't going to call him a mentor or nothing, but I known him because I've been places. So I had met him last year in March. Yeah, it was last year in March. I had met him. And I heard some things about this man. I'm not going to say his name. But they was saying, oh, he got this going on, you know, he well off, very successful, and majority of his success was from like automatic car washes. So I'm like, okay, whenever I meet people of high status, you know, I'm not like thrilled. I'm not thrilled about like, oh, you know, they richer than me, they got more fame than me. I don't care about none of that bullshit. It can be Drake or whoever, the most famous person on earth. I don't care. The only person I'm gonna be like that towards is God. You know, if you can't bring a motherfucker back from the dead, man, I don't give a fuck about how famous you are, how much money you got. That's just how I've always been. But anyways, going back to it, I met the gentleman. You know, he was cool, he was chill, and I'm like, okay, cool. You know, like I said, every person I meet of high status, whether it's money or, you know, they got a little bit of fame or whatever, I just evaluate them. I see how they are. I see how they carry themselves. And he was a very subtle guy, laid back, chill, you know, had connections out the ass. I'm talking about we was going places, getting in for free. Bars, clubs, he know the owners. And don't get me wrong, it was a good experience. I really enjoyed myself. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I put him on the back end of my contacts. Fast forward to, what was it? I think it was October, November. I think it was November, starting November, because that's when I finally decided I wanted to pull the plug. I was trying to invest into this business, this car wash business, and then quit my job. I was running the play wrong, but you know, it's all good. You live and you learn, right? So, excuse me. Like I said, back in November, that's when I first, like, you know, pulled the plug. All right, I want to invest into a car wash. So did my homework. Me and my partner did the homework, did the numbers, and we was trying to figure something out. Like, okay, where we going to put it? You know, what location? What's the traffic flow? Because, you know, with car washes, man, you got to know what you're doing. You can't just build a car wash or buy a car wash that's in a bad area. You know, you need traffic flow. It got to get attention, or you're going to run out of business. You're going to be out of business very quickly because car washes are expensive, right? So like I said, we did our homework, and I was just like thinking, who do I have in my contact list that's in this field? You know, I'm just sitting around thinking, and I was also thinking about reaching out to some people so on social media. So sat back thinking, I'm like, oh, so and so did car washes or automatic car washes. So I'm like, you know what, let me reach out to him, which I did. And I set up a phone call. Phone call went great. Phone call led to me taking a trip to Dallas, which was like 3.5 hours. You know, I had to drive that. And on top of that, I had got surgery. So I was feeling like shit. And I still drove 3.5 hours to meet up with this guy. So met up with this guy. Me and my partner met up with this guy. It went great. He went over some more numbers. He actually took us to a location, to one of his locations, like his car washes, and showed us around. You know, basically told us the business, what to expect, how much money, all that. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, he a man of his word. So we come back from Dallas excited. You know, we doubled the numbers, just wanted to double check, make sure everything was good. So we got the green light to go look at different properties. And obviously I'm here in the city, man. I'm in Houston, Katy area. So everything, like every commercial property here in this city, Houston and Katy, well, let's just say Katy, is gonna be 1 million up. It's like, you're not gonna get no 200,000 or 400,000 or 6 or 8. That's like small town prices. In the city, you're gonna be paying 1 million up. So we decided to go with a smaller town. And we went to that smaller town and we went around. We went property shopping. And in that process, we found a few properties and called him up, and he came out. We scheduled another day to meet up where he'll come out, check out the property, see if the location made sense, see was it traffic flow, see if it was in a good area. So he came out. The first location, he said no, because it was kind of ducked off. It was by a Walmart, which was cool, but it was kind of ducked off in the corner to, if we did put a car wash there, people could barely see it. Only way they'll see it if they go in like Walmart parking lot or go to Walmart or whatever. So he said no on that location. We looked at like 2 more locations. So in this whole process of dealing with this man, you know, we telling him, hey, we don't want to use our money or just use our money. We want partners in this. And he agreed that he would partner up with us on a deal. So that's why he told us to look for land in that small town. And we like, okay, cool. So we continued to look, and we ran it. It's crazy because it's like a double play that didn't happen. So dealing with him, the investor, and then I'm telling y'all now, like, remember I just told y'all that we was looking at multiple properties. So he said no to the property by Walmart. So we went to go look at these other 2, and it was just like tile shop, you know, like the floor tile. It was this tile shop, and it was a small business, but it was the business was on the perfect piece of land, and it was off a main highway. So me and my partner, we pulled up on the guy, trying to see, you know, if we can get in contact with the owner. So we drive up, you know, meet the person of this floor tile shop. Obviously, it's in a small town. Man, the business, it looks sad. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It looked very, very sad. Like, it looked like he never got, like, nobody came there. So we was like, ooh, that's a good sign, because we can buy this off him, knock this little store down. It was very, very small, y'all. I'm not even joking. I wish I can show y'all, but knock the store down and build our car wash. You know, we was probably gonna do like a 90-foot tunnel, maybe squeeze it. I don't know, just depending on the layout. It could have been a 70-foot tunnel, but we was shooting for 90, which was perfect because all we needed was a full acre, and it was a full acre. So we talking to the guy. He's the only person there. Off the rip, I knew he was the owner. I'm like, ain't no way, like, this place got no business and they got employees. Like, he gotta be the owner. It wouldn't make sense for this company or this place to hire an employee or employees and they don't even have business like that. So like I said, we go inside, talk to the guy, like, hey, you know, we looking at this piece of property. We wanted to know would the owner be willing to sell it. And he was like, oh yeah, he would be, you know, just basically giving some bullshit, talking about the property, which we already knew. Y'all, come on, it's me. I already did my homework on this property, like researching it up, property value, the name it was under, all that. So he told us that he wasn't the owner. He knew the owner though. He was very close with the owner, and the owner would be willing to sell it for X amount of dollars, right? And I'm gonna dive into the number amount, but I'm telling y'all, he sold this story so well on how the the owner's just having hard times. You know, he need a X amount of money to continue to do other business and stuff like that. And he said, oh, he not gonna be willing to sell it for a low amount and just a whole bunch of nonsense, right? So I'm not gonna lie to y'all, at first we didn't know, because like with this, like looking up property information and stuff, some of these websites and the county and stuff, they strict, they don't release names like that. Like after we left from talking to him the first time, that's when we really dove into it. Like at first we just looked at the numbers in the acre and like see if it was making sense to actually even attempt to try to put a car wash there. So like I said, dealing with him, he was just telling us a whole bunch of bullshit about, you know, the property and the owner. So when we left from there, we went back home, did our homework, and it turns out he owned the property. He owned the property, and I'm like, man, it wasn't, I knew it. I'm like, it just don't make sense for this little company to have employees or an employee. So he basically was trying to run a play on us, passively acting like he wasn't the owner. He acted like he was like a manager of the little store. So he's like, yeah, the owner, he already had a couple offers, which he made up, talking about, he said he wouldn't go no lower than 985,000. He said he not going no lower than that, because he said a Mexican restaurant reached out that was trying to open up another location, they reached out to buy the piece of land as well, because they wanted to build on there, which, like I said, was bullshit. Ain't nobody reach out. When he told me that, I told my partner, I'm like, that don't even make sense. Why would they put a restaurant over here? It just didn't make sense to me. So he told us some more bullshit about how they got more offers and stuff, and they was putting in 1 million and 1.2 and which he was trying to, let me tell you, I'm gonna give y'all a valuable lesson. Whoever say the number first during the sale transaction loses. And he said the number first. He said, well, I'm not gonna take nothing below 985, which he's the owner, so he able to do that. But it still give us room to negotiate. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna pay 985 for a shit I ain't gonna say it was a shit location. It was a good location, but the property wasn't worth 985. He bought it for, I think, 350 or 400,000 back in 2021. And before that, the owner before him had bought it for 200,000. So yeah, he was able to make he took a loss whenever he bought it, but he tried to double up on his money by trying to resell to us for 985,000. That was minimum. He said he really wanted 1.2. I said, man, this man is out of his mind. But the point of this story I'm trying to tell y'all is he tried to play on us, acting like he wasn't the owner. He thought he can get over me and my partner just because we was young. Like, what is wrong with people like that? That was the second encounter. The first encounter, I'm still going on about the investor guy. It ain't done. The reason I had to go to number 2 guy was because he was a part of this car wash play that we was trying to run. So I had to bring him up. So yeah, he tried to play on us like he wasn't the owner, and trying to basically throw out his numbers passively so he can negotiate at a high rate, which was, like I said, starting at 985. So like I said, we did our homework. We came back like, oh, this motherfucker lied to us. He was the owner. And then we did more, and we figured out he didn't even pay that much for the property. So this motherfucker trying to double up his money. Basically, like I said, the whole sob story he told us about the owner and about the hard struggles and stuff that they was facing and dealing with. Also, on top of that, the numbers that they wanted was all bullshit. He didn't even pay $985 for the property. So me and my partner was like, all right, cool. We still gonna go back to him and act like we don't know. Like, we went back and acted like we didn't know he was the owner, which we knew, but we just wanted to see, was he still gonna keep up with that same story as he didn't know the owner, but the owner wanted X amount of dollars, and they was dealing with all this. And it's like he was an idiot because all this came up on property records. He even threw his wife under the bus by saying the owner was I forgot her name or whatever, but he said the owner was her name. So when we went to go look up the property, her name popped up. Fucking idiot, but he tried to get over on us. And I'm just like, man, that was the second time. Like I said, I'm still going on with the first investor guy, but it was the second time. Like, what's up with this? Like, I was just like, this is the second time this happened. Or, it's happening again. Because we was seeing it with the investor guy the first time. We was seeing it with him, but we didn't know. Like, I was telling my partner, I'm like, I don't know, I'm starting to kind of get sketchy vibes from this guy, But like I said, the second time with this floor tile shop guy, he lied to us. He thought he can get over on us just because we was young. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's noted, documented, right? So going back to the investor guy number one that tried to get over on us, we told him about that property. He was like, oh man, that guy, he full of shit. Ain't nobody finna pay $985 for that. He was like, y'all go look for some more properties. So we found 2 more. And one of the properties was a green light. I mean, it was barely like a full acre, but he told us he was able to fit or squeeze a 70-foot tunnel on there with a few vacuums because it was an automatic car wash. And we was like, all right, cool. And we start talking numbers. And he was saying, yeah, okay, I got multiple partners that want to invest into this, yada, yada, yada. So we was like, oh yeah, we was excited, like, okay, cool. We got partners. Obviously, we're going to have to give up a certain percentage. We do 70, they do 30. That's probably what it was going to be, or somewhere around there. And me and my partner, we went to go to our lawyer. We wanted to send over all the documents of the pre-sign of like I forgot, it's like a contract, because we was franchising. It was like a franchise contract that our lawyer had to go over to make sure it was fair and it made sense for us. He never sent that over. He kept stalling and saying, why do y'all need it? This could be like an under the table deal, which was sketchy, right? So we never signed the contract or nothing. We didn't go over it because he never sent it. We kept telling him, send the contract. He kept giving us some bullshit that, one of his assistant guys is on like a ski trip in Utah or something. Whenever he get back, he'll send the contract. And it been like 2 weeks after and still never sent the contract. So I hit him back. I'm like, hey man, like, what's up with the contract? We wait on the contract. And then he got pissed. He sent a long message on, why do y'all need the contract? Da 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 da. We already did the numbers. It all makes sense. Let's just go. Let's basically like do this shit. And we sent it to, we told our lawyer about it, and he was like, no. He was like, no, he full of shit. He was like, don't do nothing. He was like, if he ain't sending over no contract for me, for basically for our lawyer to review, he was like, we ain't doing nothing. So he never sent the contract. I texted him. I forget the last thing I said to him, but he never texted back. And that's when I knew. I'm like, oh, okay, so he probably had something up his sleeve that he was going to reveal later on once we signed the contract. And he took our funds along with his partners, because obviously it would have been an amazing opportunity for him as well, because he already had 4 to 5 different locations, and this probably would have been his 5th or 6th. So I was like, man, I told my partner, I was like, maybe it wasn't meant for us. Maybe God seen something that we didn't. So I wasn't tripping about closing or actually starting my first business with the car wash. So I was like, okay, cool. I was kind of upset at first because we went through a lot of shit to get a car wash location. I'm telling you, a whole bunch of shit. We went to meetings, meeting up with different people, getting, I had to get another CPA for taxes, getting a lawyer, all that. It was a whole bunch of bullshit we had to go through, and it was a mess. And it ended up not working. It sucks. A lot of people probably would have gave up when that happened, but I just kept, me and her, we just kept pushing, hey, it wasn't meant for us, and we moved on from it. So the investor guy and the floor tile shop guy, basically the property guy that was trying to get over on us, on selling the property, acting like he wasn't the owner. Those two guys, I was just like, okay, wow. You know, and me and my partner discussed it, and we said, like, what's up? Like, with people trying to get over on us. Like, you know, we didn't think nothing of it. We just was like, okay, maybe this is a part of business. Obviously, we experienced it, so like, you know, it's with us, but we just kind of like passively let it go. We wasn't worried about it until now, this past week. You know, on my birthday, it got brought back up of like people trying to get over on us because we young, like a young, upcoming, successful, you know, partner / couple, right? And so I'm gonna tell y'all about this. I know I'm 20 minutes in right now. It's cool. Y'all just stick with me. So recently, like I said, this past Saturday, it was my birthday. I love, you know, driving nice cars. I could say I'm a car guy, but I'm not like a car guy where I'm just fascinated by cars and I let cars run my life and control my life and I'll go bust my ass for a car. I'm not that kind of guy. Like, I love cars and I want certain cars, but I'm not like car guy. Like, some people go crazy with the car guy bullshit, right? But anyways, I do plan on owning supercars in the future. You know, I want a Porsche Turbo S. R8 is next. That's what I want. That's the car I want. Maybe a Ferrari. I got some other cars that I want, but I can't really list right now because I'm focusing on the one that I want to get right now, which is the Audi R8. But anyways, I rode in some supercars, but I never actually drove. It's the difference between driving and being a passenger, right? And I was telling my girl about it. You know, we talked about it way before my birthday, probably like February or March, late February, early March, about like what did I want to do for my birthday. And, you know, I can basically do whatever, but I'm just like, you know what, I plan on getting a supercar soon. So I was like, I'll probably, you know, want to experience driving a supercar, which we shopped around at different rental companies for a supercar. And I tried to go with this one because I rented from them in the past and we had a good experience. So I went to them, but they didn't have no cars really. Every car that they had listed, you know, it was shit. I wanted a supercar, not like an SUV or, you know, something laid back like a Rolls Royce. I wanted a sports car, supercar, something fast. They didn't have any. So he recommended this one guy. Not gonna say his name. It's like, so-and-so with this company should have some cars, check them out, which I did. And I spoke with the gentleman, and it was a specific car he was telling me about, McLaren 570S. It was stage 2 tuned, and you know, it was quick, loud, all that, which it got me. Like, he sold me on that because I wanted something fast and that was kind of noisy. And because, you know, it's different. Like, I just love the sound of supercars, especially when they tune down pipes, all that. I love it. I can listen to it all day, every day. But anyways, he sold me on that experience. So that day after I got off the phone with him, I pulled up to his location, his shop, and I checked out the car. The car was on the trailer, and he told me, oh, the battery died. You know, they didn't, the previous renters of the car didn't, I forgot, they left it out or something, and they had to buy a new battery, which he said the battery was gonna be like $5,000. I was like, okay, cool. But he was like, man, this car is perfect. You know, nothing wrong with the car. The car was on the trailer, so we couldn't really physically look at the car. I'm just looking at the outside like, okay, yeah, it looked good, da-da-da-da-da. And yeah, went on about our day. So I'm like, yeah, I was telling my girl, I'm like, yeah, this is something I'll probably do. I'll rent. So we paid the down deposit that day, which was $1,000. Because total it cost $1,350, basically $1,400 plus taxes. You know, it was basically $1,400 flat. So we paid the down deposit, and this was like 3-4 weeks before my birthday. And then actually my birthday came this past weekend, which was Saturday, and we actually picked up the car. Y'all, when I tell y'all the experience that he sold me on the phone versus in person, like actually picking up the car, was horrible. He had a whole bunch of airheads working at his shop that didn't know shit, didn't know where the contract was, didn't know what to do, didn't know how to do like the before video and after video, and it was a lot of bullshit that was going on all at once while picking up the car. Like, we pulled up to the car, y'all, the car wasn't even clean. It was dirty on the inside and outside, and they asked us, hey, do y'all want to take the car like this? Like, no, this is a luxury experience. What do you mean take the car like this? So we had them clean the car, and they took it through Mr. Car Wash, and I guess vacuumed it out real quick, which I don't care how you run your business, but even if it's taken through Mr., make sure it's before the customer come pick up the car. So they bring it back, which took like 40 minutes. So me and my girl, we went to a coffee shop and got us a coffee, then came back and picked up the car. And there was some more bullshit we had to do, which was signing the contract, paying the full price of, you know, the car, which was like $1,360 plus tax, like I said, $1,400. And, you know, after I signed the contract, I finally got in the car. And it was like shop rules and regulations that they had, but the people there didn't know shit. Like, I wasn't supposed to like drive the car out of the shop. Like, one of the workers was supposed to do that. I was supposed to drive it off like the parking lot, not inside the shop. So, but I drove it inside the shop to outside the shop onto the main road to where I like inspected the car, and I made like a little video for my Instagram or whatever. And if y'all not following me on Instagram, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, real TJackk. But anyways, yeah, so made a little video of the car, me and my girl finna pull off. And during that process, y'all, the car I was driving, which was a McLaren 570S, was shitty. It was shitty as fuck. And I can add in a video, actually I might do that, of the experience. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I felt like I was a mechanic the whole day rather than a customer enjoying the car. And, you know, me going back and forth with the owner, he was a young cat, not gonna say his name. We're going back and forth. And he, you know, my girl tried to get into it and say some stuff, which she did. And he was going back and forth with us. And it's just like, you a business owner, you never supposed to go back and forth with your customers. And he said we was trying to bash his business and stuff like that because I called him out on his business structure about how everything was horrible. His employees, you know, the quality of the car was horrible. Like, he tried to reference that since it was a McLaren and McLaren have a lot of problems, that's why it was like that. Like, no, the console not supposed to fall off. Like, it was damages on outside of the car, y'all. Underneath the car was a bunch of shit. Don't get me wrong, I didn't know this until like I was actually driving the car. It was a cool car, nice car on the outside, and I still, you know, tried to enjoy it to the best of my ability, which I really didn't. You know, I took some pictures in it, which I'm still gonna post. Obviously, I'm not posting these pictures to try to flex or nothing. It's just like, I know I'm gonna get this car. So I'm setting a standard, like, hey, I'm gonna get this car. I got the BMW M440i and I got the McLaren 570S, which is not actually my car, but I'm gonna replace it with the Audi R8 because that's the next car that I want to get. But basically, you know, like I said, try to enjoy the car to the best of my ability. But I felt like a mechanic more than actually enjoying the car. But long story short, like I was telling y'all, I was going back and forth with this guy, which he was a young cat. He kept saying, you know, we cool, da 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 da. I guess because we probably was all like around the same age, he thought I was gonna be chill about the experience I got, and I wasn't. You know, paying $1,400 and you receive shit service, you know, and the car is shitty as far as like shit falling apart and it got some kind of damages and scratches. Like, how am I supposed to accept that? And, you know, the point I'm trying to make is just because you young don't mean you're going to be dumb or oblivious to certain things. Like, no, not at all. Everybody that's young, not young and dumb. Some people young and smart or young and on point with everything. But he thought he can get over on us because we was young and we was just going to accept that treatment. Absolutely not. Like, we took care of what we needed to take care of on our end. And I spoke with the guy yesterday because he wasn't even in town or in the city whenever we picked up the car. He was in a whole different state. He just had his airheads or, you know, his little foot soldiers at the shop running things. But, you know, it was just a headache. and he tried to get over on us. He told me Saturday, oh, well, I'm gonna call you Monday and we're gonna resolve this. We're gonna come up with a solution. Then when he called me yesterday, it wasn't no solution. He didn't want to refund the money back. He didn't want to at least send half the money back or nothing. He was just saying, hey man, you still drove the car, you drove X amount of miles, which I tried to take the car back the same day, but he never texted me back because he knew. He was like, okay, if he bring this car back, he gonna want his money back. Absolutely. So he never texted me back, and I have the receipts for that. I said, hey man, is anybody at the shop today so I can drop off this car? Never got a text back. I had to triple text him about this car. And like I said, I might add in all this extra stuff, but I'm not trying to like rant about my experience. I'm just trying to say, hey, with being young, there's certain people and certain individuals out there that's in business that try to get over on you just because you're young, thinking you're gonna tolerate that shit. Absolutely not. We the total opposite over here. We don't tolerate no bullshit or fuckery from nobody, you know. And I hate that. It's like a stereotypical way of thinking because a person young that they not gonna be on game or on point with certain things. And I hate that you know, us as young people gotta deal with shit like that. But I'm just telling y'all to, you know, see if y'all could relate, or if not, hey, watch out. You've been young, make sure, you know, if you're getting a rental service, or, you know, you young trying to invest or do whatever, make sure you're on point and make sure you do your research before you actually do said thing. Because I didn't do my research on a rental like that, like the car rental. No, I didn't. I trusted the guy, and that's where I fucked up. Like, but I learned from that. Like, from now on, I don't give a fuck if I'm chartering a jet, a yacht, supercars, or I'm renting a nice ass house or whatever. I'm making sure I do my homework on every fucking thing. Like, I slipped up once. If it happened to you once, it's not your fault. But if you let it happen to you again, it is your fault. You got to take accountability and hold yourself accountable and be responsible for that. You know, you can't be like, oh, well, they did it to me again, or it happened to me again. Like, no. You go through it, and you go through it the first time, it's not your fault. It happened again, it's your fault. Once it happened once, don't let it happen again. That's what everything in life. Don't tolerate bullshit. Don't tolerate fuckery. Don't let nobody talk to you any kind of way. Don't let no goofy shit happen. Be on point as a person, as a human being. And I'm talking to the men and women out there. I'm just talking to the men. Women as well. Don't let nobody try to get over on you. Once you see the fuckery, or you see them as a certain individual, take that gut feeling. You know, it's not gonna lie to you. I'm telling you, it's not gonna lie to you. But that's all I have for today. You know, I just wanted to talk to y'all about this experience, or these experiences that I had, which is sad to say. But hey, they can't get over on TJackk, man. TJackk not tolerating the bullshit forever until death. I'm not, you know. But that'll be it for this video. If y'all have any questions, or if y'all could relate, man, y'all comment down below in the comment section. Also, check me out on Instagram. My Instagram is realTJackk. I said it earlier. Y'all follow me. Give me a follow. If y'all have any questions and don't want to comment on the video, hit me on the DM, or hit me in the DM. But yeah, that'll be it. I will catch y'all next video.